Assalamualaikum and good day to Dr. Noliza and my fellow friends. We are from Good Diamond. We'd like to present Case Analysis Federal Global Ventures Holding Berhad, FGV. Group member consists of Muhammad Khairuddin, Maisarah, Nurul Inani, Nur Adillah, and I Atira Husna. We would like to begin our presentation about FGV backgrounds and the main issues. Fgv Holdings Berhad is based in Malaysia and is one of the country's leading globally integrated, diversified agribusiness that focuses on the whole supply chain of palm oil, sugar manufacturing, and downstream activity in oils and fats, and also oleochemicals. FGV operates in more than 10 countries across Asia, the Middle East, North America, and Europe. FGV primarily focuses on the three core business sectors, which is plantation, sugar, and logistics. Example of household products can be seen in the market in Malaysia such as Saji, Seri Pelangi, Tiga Udang and Adela.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Khairuddin bin Hussein, metric number A177424. Thank you, Ms. Atira Husna. There are three issues regarding FGV. The first issue is tarnished with a negative image. FGV, which is a subsidiary of Felda, was linked by politicians and the media to previous leadership scandal until the PH government issued a white paper on governance failure and weakness in investment decision. Number two, financial performance decrease COVID-19 effect. COVID-19 affected the recovery of the FGV company. MCO causes foreign worker to be unable to return to work in the farm. Demand for palm oil and sugar declined as the foods-based business sector closed. Number three, restriction and ban of palm oil. U.S. Customs and Border Protection (CBP) had restrict import of palm oil made by FGV over concern of forced labor. European Union (EU) banned the import of palm oil because the opening of plantation contribution to widespread deforestation. Next, external analysis. I focus on pastel analysis. For P political, Felda is the parent company of FGV. Felda is also a government-linked company, GLC, where the Malaysian government has a direct controlling interest. Thus, development of political relationship between Malaysia with China and India is an opportunity for FGV to increase palm oil export. For information, China is the third country with the highest consumption of palm oil, while India is the second country. Meanwhile, restriction of FGV palm oil product by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency (CBP) following the issue of forcing labor need to be addressed prudently with Malaysia's involvement through bilateral relationship between the two countries. In addition, the European Union (EU) ban on the use of palm oil for use in biofuel require government intervention using good bilateral relationship. 4E, economic factor contribution to FGV's business. There are domestic and foreign market opportunity. Domestic opportunity such as the development of ECRL project pave the way for an integrated logistics service provision industry. Apart from the palm oil business, FGV is also involved in the logistics sector. In addition, Prospectus Lane, Malaysia's Berhad, a company owned by businessman Tan Sri Said Mokhtar Al-Bukhari, has made an offer to inject its plantation asset into FGV in return for substantial stake. This indicated economic opportunity based on confidence. External economic opportunities also a factor in FGV's success. Such opportunity as a large market in China based on municipalities have grown rapidly in recent years as a result of China ongoing reform program. In rural area, regional expansion with China has resulted in the emergence of new grow market for palm oil products. However, another largest importer of palm oil, India, is expected to experience a 2% decline in import in 2002. The decline is due to decrease on hotel, restaurant and caterer sector, which account for the bulk of palm oil consumption, is expected to be affected by the pandemic COVID-19, which is still unfinished. In addition, the unresolved impact of restriction on Fgv palm oil product by the US Customs and Protection Agency (CBP) has led the Hershey company to take steps to stop the purchase of palm oil from Fgv. Meanwhile, Mars and Nestle are still taking action on. They await Fgv clarification on the issue before they take any action. If this matter is not addressed immediately, Fgv will lose its market in the US. 4S social. From the aspect of social sector, due to the closure of national border due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which caused a shortage of plantation worker, Fgv should take the opportunity to fill the shortage by collaborating with the Ministry of Human Resources to offer employment to local. The latest effort of the Ministry of Human Resources took the initiative offering to fill over 8,600 jobs in the plantation sector. This initiative helped in contributing to social progress by offering jobs to local affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Globally, people say that palm oil can cause obesity to customer. This negative talk will give a negative perception of palm oil to others around the world. At the same time, soybean oil is promoted better than palm oil from a health aspect. Such allegation cause the public to be swayed and could affect Fgv potential to expand the palm oil market. 40. Technological. Fgv need to increase continuous research and development on oil palm. With the latest research and innovation advance, various palm-based products can be diversified and able to increase market potential. For example, the use of biodiesel known as B7 biodiesel to the industrial sector and upgrading from B7 to B10 for the transportation sector is seen as catalyst to the recovery of the biodiesel industry as well as the diversification of palm oil use. The new technology developed by MPOB, for example, such as the use of endophytic bacteria that have the characteristic of effective biological control agent to control stem root disease caused by Ganoderma fungus. This control technology can increase the productivity of oil palm crop and reduce losses to plantation operators. 4E. Environment. Fgv needs to establish effective mechanism related to environment destruction. That is the reason why the EU has banned palm oil. WWF also warned of the impact of the rapid opening up of oil palm plantation, which is causing the destruction of tropical forests, endangered habitat and living species, and some situation affecting some human community that depend on forest resources. In addition, action such as the open burning of aged palm oil plantation for the planting of new trees increase the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, especially the burning of peat soil. Uncontrolled burning can also trigger haze across border as happened a few years ago. For L, legal, FGV needs to be obtained various certification of guarantee from various rating agencies such as the Roundtable Sustainable Palm Oil (RSPO). This guaranteed certificate is important to increase the trust of potential buyer of palm oil in the world. The issue of restriction on palm oil product by US CBP agency needs to be addressed immediately, including the issue of banning palm oil by EU, even by taking appropriate legal action. For the presentation, I pass to next presenter.
Hello, I am Nurul Inani. I will present about analysis of Porter's 5 forces. The first one is threat of new entrants are low. The palm oil industry is a highly regulated industry due to the very strict and rigid government policies. Besides, the initial capital to penetrate the industry is also high and very expensive. Hence, when the entry barrier is high, the threat of new entrants will be below. There are several barriers that discourage the new entrants to penetrate the industry, such as unstable economies of scale, high capital requirements, high access to distribution channel and tight government policies, and cost disadvantage independent of size. Secondly is bargaining power of suppliers are high. A buyer or a group of buyers is powerful because if the industry is dominated by a few companies, such Fgv Holding Berhad is the largest palm oil company in Malaysia, and it produces unique products which are different from others, and Fgv also has the ability to do forward integration. Thirdly, bargaining power of buyers are low. There may be 5 different groups of buyers which are the innovators, adopters, early majority, late majority, and excessive traditionalists. The fourth is threat of substitute products are moderate. The threat of substitute products tends to be moderate because there are several products that can be replaced with the same functions to the customers. The fifth is rivalry among competitive firms are high. Market rivalry tends to be high and more vigorous because there is a high number of competitive firms in the plantation and also food and beverages industry. Low product differentiation, low switching costs, high industry growth rate, and price control on plantation products.
Good evening, my name is Nur Adila binti Mokhtar, my metric number A175474. Next, we're moving on to competitive profile matrix CPM. We compare Federal Global Venture with Sandabi and Kuala Lumpur Kepong to develop competitive profile matrix, and we determine that they have 10 critical success factors. That is product quality, management experience, market share, innovation, market expansion, financial position, strategic partnership and alliance, geographic coverage, corporate social responsibility, and profit margin. Total score for Federal Global Venture are 3.04, while Sandabi 3.72 and Kuala Lumpur Kepong total score 2.26. Federal Global Venture are lower than Sandabi, while Federal Global Venture are higher than Kuala Lumpur Kepong.
I will present about the external factors evaluation EFE FGV. The table shows 10 items for opportunities and another 10 items for threats. For weighted score EFE metric, FGV score at 2.6T9, which is FGV is performing above average on addressing key external issues facing the firm. That means FGV company's strategy is very well designed to meet the opportunities, and also it can prove that FGV can cope with any threats from the other competitors.
Hello everyone, my name is Maisara binti Ibrahim and my number metric is A172456. I will continue the presentation with mission analysis. The mission of Fgv Holdings Berhad is become a global leader through creating value in human capital, championing locally invested culture, building an integrated value chain advantage, and cultivation diversification in communities and geography. Fgv consists 5 elements which are market, philosophy, Sub-concept, concern for survival, growth, and for profitability. Then, concern for public image. Therefore, I have analyzed all 9 elements of mission, which are for customers. Based on FGV vision, they want to gain customers' value in long-term spirit. And then for product and service, FGV want to produce their product that has high quality. And then for market, refer to the mission statement. FGV want to become a global leader. And next, for technology, FGV has integrated and sustainable agribusiness. And then for concern, for survival, growth, and profitability element, FGV has building integrated value chain advantage. And then for philosophy is creating value through our human capital. And then sub-concept is championing locally invested culture. While for the concern for public image is cultivating diversification in commodities and geography. Lastly, the concern for employee refer to the vision of FGV is embodiment of governance and compliance. Alright, then I will pass the presentation to the next presenter.
Thank you. Internal analysis. I focus on financial analysis. I compare company ratio to average industry ratio. For profitability, FGV has a higher value than the average industry ratio, indicating that the company is performing well except for return on equity and gross margin for previous 5 years. For liquidity, with the ratio so, FGV is not in a good position to cover its current liability compared to the average industry. For operational efficiency, a high FGV inventory turnover ratio implies strong sales, or in the context of FGV may also reflect insufficient inventory due to lack of manpower. A high FGV asset turnover ratio indicates a better performance of the company because a higher ratio indicates that the company generates more revenue for every ringgit of asset. FGV has a low receivable turnover ratio, indicating an adequate collection process, poor credit policy, or financially non-variable customer. Typically, a lower turnover ratio implies that FGV should be re-evaluate its credit policy to ensure its collects have not been received in a timely manner. For solvency ratio, FGV have a high debt to equity ratio is often associated with high risk. It means that a company has been aggressive in financing its growth with debt. For the presentation, I pass to next presenter.
Internal factors evaluation IFE. For the strengths, there is 10 items listed, and for the weaknesses also there is 10 items. Weighted score for FGV is 2.66 on the IFE matrix. It is above average and indicating FGV is doing well on addressing the key internal issues. A key area for the improvement, FGV need to improve the progress and dynamics of their organization.
Okay, now we move to strategy analysis and choice section. Alright, for SWOT matrix, as my team has mentioned, we have come up with several strategies. First, for SO strategies, FGV have to increase market development strategy, which is FGV could to expand market globally and rapid growth to cater to demand everywhere, anywhere. And then the second, FGV have to use high technology to undertake innovative production development and market. Next, for WO strategies, the first is provide skills courses and training for the laborers, since there exists lack of skills among their labor. And then the second is study rules and regulation as well as policy of the expansion country for proper arrangement and agreement that needs to comply with the local authorities of each expansion country. Okay, then for ST strategies, the first is use integrated pest management to reduce or avoid chemical usage that will affect the environment and also oil palm. And then FGV would propose and share the annual report and financial analysis to the potential investors in ensuring them that FGV is financially sound. And for the last strategies, which WT strategies, in these strategies, FGV have to establish an audit team that is directly under the chairman of FGV. The team will monitor compliance with procedures from planting to marketing of palm oil. All weaknesses and threats can be identified in advance to be resolved. That's all for SWOT metrics, and I will pass to the next presenter.
This is Fgv performance by segment. Next, from table I locate BCG metric. The logistic and others and headquarters and corporate elimination segment have low market share and are at a low growth rate. The segment is considered a dog and needs to be further improved. Thus, dogs can be a cash trap, burdenly company fund for long period of time. The plantation segment that is in a high growth market and that makes up the bulk of the market is considered a star and should be invested in more. In the upper left quadrant are star which generate high income but also use a large amount of company cash. Sugar segment is in low growth area but have a relatively large market share, are considered cash cow, and therefore sugar segment should remain for as long as possible. For the presentation, I pass to next presenter.
Next, for the space metric are used to analyze organization competitive position through internal strategic position and external strategic position. Financial position and industry position skills rating are 1, which is worst, to 7 is the best. The total score for financial position FGV are 3.2, while total score for industry position are 2.8. Stability position and competitive position skills use negative rating scales, where -1 is the best to -7 are worst. FGV stability position total score are -2.6, while competitive position are -4. Based on the analysis now, we know that FGV are located on conservative profile. This shows FGV is a stable industry but with low growth rate and financially stable. FGV suitable strategy that should employ are market development and market penetration. Next, for grand strategy metrics, FGV are under quadrant 2 where they are unable to compete effectively even their industry is growing. The suitable strategy for FGV are product development, market penetration, and horizontal integration.
Thank you. For IE metric, the sugar and plantation segment are on growth and build strategy. This mean intensive and aggressive tactical strategy. The strategy of this segment should focus on market penetration, market development, and product development. The headquarters and corporate elimination segment is on holding and retention strategy. In this case, the tactical strategy of this segment should focus on market penetration and market development. For the logistic and other segment is on harvest and diverse. If the cost to increase the potential of the business is low, then it should be tried to be revitalize the business of this segment. Strategy implementation QSPM metric. Based on the finding of the previous metrics, we choose 3 strategy option: market development strategy, market penetration strategy, and product development strategy. The following are the total score earned by the 3 strategy option. Market development strategy get higher marks compared to another strategy. I pass to next presenter.
Next, I will proceed with the recommendation of strategy. We would like to recommend to FGV market development strategy. Firstly, advance and expand the potential of palm oil. Through the strategic joint venture with Procter & Gamble in Malaysia, FGV aims to optimize the highly potential of oleochemical business backed with strong research and development initiative. Secondly, logistics, transport and bulking external business expansion. Through logistics, FGV can generate more income stream from business plan. They also need to acquire an agreement with national oil and gas company. Thirdly, ICT external business expansion. A certified company backed by full range of ICT and business experts able to harness the power of technology in helping reaching business goals. The next one is suggestion of policy. Firstly, equal opportunity policy. All employees and applicants should receive fair treatment and do not engage in or support discrimination based on race, nationality, religion, disability, gender, age, sexual orientation, union membership and political body. Secondly, paraquat usage policy. The usage of paraquat is not allowed in the mature palm trees except for specific reasons. Thirdly, forage worker employment policy. Forage workers to be paid based on the minimum wage order as gazetted by the Malaysian government. Fourthly is communications policy. Management is responsible to communicate to customers or external parties and reviewing all report received and takes proper actions. The next one is environmental care and protection. Must be complied with all guidelines and regulations relating to the preservation of environmental aspects. Lastly is replanting policy. Replanting must be focused on the selection of areas to be replanted and the implementation of good agriculture practice during replanting.
I will explain action to be executed. When we use the market development strategy, we have to choose which countries to target. FGV can use the platform of Malaysia trade relation with foreign countries such as Organisation of Islamic Cooperation (OIC), Non-Aligned Movement (NAM), Free Trade Agreement (FTA), and so on. After that, FGV needs to implement 5 steps. First, research development opportunities. It is important to FGV identify what are the biggest development opportunities to expand their products to the new market. FGV need to identify first their target audience and then need to analyze the market and determine who are FGV potential competitors. Next is establish the growth goals. FGV need to know which area would like to focus on. A successful market development will come with added sales, profit, employees, customers, product, also and location. Develop marketing plan. FGV need to develop a plan to introduce an existing product to new customer. This can help FGV build brand awareness and generate demand. There are a lot of tools can FGV use to generating more revenue. For example, email marketing, social media platform, and local marketing. Local marketing really helps FGV reach new audience, boost research rankings, and also can help establish FGV business in a local community. And then, see the market. To centralize FGV internal planning and communication efforts during market development process, FGV need to overarching campaign and sales plan to ensure to stay organized and on track. Lastly, analyze the results. Need to be sure the customers are satisfied, products and service are high quality, employees are retained, and the most importantly, goals are met. In conclusion, as everyone knows, FGV is facing the people's attention regarding the scandal involving the company in the past few years. The government has expressed a commitment to ensure the company recovers and return to competitiveness. Based on the findings highlighted above, the recovery process is increasingly evidence-based on financial performance. However, the constraints of the COVID-19 pandemic over the past few years have resulted in a slow performance improvement process. In addition to the issue of banning palm oil by the EU and restriction on palm oil imports by US enforcement agencies requires FGV to explore new markets and or the market development strategy with structured methods and good governance practice. Looking to the future, FGV is expected to be able to compete with large companies in the industry as well as provide returns to investors. That's all from us. Thank you.